My mum was like, you need to put some elbow grease into it. Here's my stupid little ass. I went into the kitchen under the sink. I was like, where is this elbow grease?
Perfect.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what time of day you're watching this, and welcome back to the 3-Star Podcast. And I was going to say the dynamic duo is back, but Chris is part of the 3-Star Podcast family now. So the dynamic, the trinamic trio is here.
Myles,
I am joined by Shaun.
Man.
Tell me about it.
It feels like it's been a good 5 or 6 episodes due to the world and the way it is at the minute. We're back. We're back virtual.
I would blame the world, but I also did near enough book the whole of December off as annual leave. So
you did.
I missed a lot of important stuff. I missed the rushes of everything, but you know.
The other thing is, Myles, as well, that I know that when you're on annual leave, you're on full annual leave. So you try and find Myles Gillespie anywhere other than via all your favorite podcast streams, then you're struggling. But I'm glad to be back on the horse with you, as they say, man. And Chris, Chris from Backstage Live, he's no one's a stranger to Chris Mills nowadays. How you doing, man? You good?
All good, mate. All good. Yeah, back in the man cave studio. So yeah, we're laughing, mate. We're laughing,
loving it, loving life, and it's something. We're well into the new year now. We're in February and stuff like that, and tech's gone crazy. We last episode 28 for the guys. I know that Myles, you went through with Jason and Callie all the lovely unboxing of our fantastic record-breaking S21 series. So that's exciting. Indeed. But the thing that I wanted to bring up straight away, if I can go straight into it, permission to go straight into it, was, did either of you guys catch CES? Because I feel that it's such a pivotal part of the tech calendar, and we haven't we haven't mentioned any of the great wins on that. You're nodding. You guys catch that?
Yeah, definitely watched it. Yeah, good show actually. Good show. Samsung threw out some good tech there, I thought.
Tell me about it. Now, before we get into it, for those who don't know, CES being the time of the year, the show, the event, where normally, in a normal world, everyone stops and heads over to Barcelona and enjoys looking at the future of technology, basically. Obviously, being Samsung got some big shouts around it. Last year, I think they actually cancelled because the COVID was really just like in its infancy then at the time. I remember specifically, I was lucky enough to be over in Malta with a Samsung show that we did. And we found that the news there that it was being cancelled. So everyone's like, gosh, is this going to be that serious? 12 months later, virtual events is something of the norm. We do a lot of them. And like you say, massive shouts at CES for Samsung. Myles, it opened up strong. And it was a lengthy kind of amount of messaging. What really kind of attracted you to that?
The 110-inch micro LED TV with 0 bezels. I nearly switched off as soon as I heard that. I was like, oh, okay. This is everything I need in life. And then I remembered I still don't have a PS5 to play it on, so who needs a 110-inch TV?
Let's see. If you're not on Myles' Instagram already, get on there. But I'll forewarn you that all you see is a lot of disappointment, and Myles truly speaking his mind about how he feels about the lack of being able to get a PlayStation 5. But that's the TV you're on about, Myles. There.
Yeah. So it's the new micro LED. That's what it was called.
Yeah, but do you know what? I quite like that. The first thing that came to your head when watching that is the fact you don't have a PS5. Let alone a house big enough to put it in. But all right.
I would find, but my issue is I have a house big enough to fit it in. It just wouldn't fit comfortably or make any sense. Any sense in the space that I would put it in. But this is the thing. So CES, for those that don't know, is Consumer Electronics Show. So basically a show. So it's for consumers. So it's for everyone. It's not like, you know how you have some of these expos where it's mainly all B2B focused stuff. So you see it and you're like, but I don't know how this is actually going to benefit me. Again, you might need a house big enough, but it's just letting you know. We have a bezel-less TV. So that's when we said edge to edge before, we literally mean edge to edge.
Yeah, I remember it now. When you first said it, I couldn't remember which one you was on about, because I know brought up in the same kind of breath was the Sero, the wall, and the frame devices. I know that for example, the wall isn't particularly new to us in the Samsung world. The frame as well. I know the frame's been around for some time now, but it's still very innovative. For anybody who doesn't know, the frame best described as a art piece, an interactive art piece, because you put it on your wall. It has actually got a frame, like a picture frame, but it's a TV. You can customize the frame as to what color you have, and then when you're not watching it, it kind of you can choose kind of like favorite pictures, and it puts like a matte feel to them, so it looks like an artwork on your own. Is that the best way I'd describe it, Chris? Would you say?
Yeah, it's, what do they call it now? Ambient mode, isn't it? They've got this like really fancy ambient mode where, like what you said, it looks like you're just hanging up a piece of artwork in your house when your TV's not being used, I guess, isn't it? So instead of having, they look nice, don't they? But
I've
crazy.
Considering we've been in lockdown and we haven't had our hands on devices as much as we do, I saw the actual Sero last year. For those who are in the know out there, Sero is actually Korean for vertical.
There we go, knowledge bombs. All right,
just dropping them plenty.
Right. There you go. And the great thing about that is obviously TVs are in a landscape view for layman terms, but a lot of capturing, because we can't get it through to people's heads that when you're recording something that's going to go viral, turn your phone to landscape still. So what have Samsung done? We've kind of said, okay, we'll take that problem away. And we've got a TV that automatically now, when it's viewing that content, will go in a vertical ratio, which again, man, and I've seen it in operational, I've seen it working, I've seen it screen mirror to my device, and when I turn it, it innovatively changes as well. So we always start with TVs. TVs is such a big shape, but it was much more than that, wasn't it?
Well, I was just going to say, touching on the TVs, did you boys see the Samsung Health that they were building into the Samsung TVs? Well, you can do your full-on workouts from your TV. That's game changing. That's game changing, especially when not many people are going to gyms at the moment. Everyone's at home. Yeah. Mate, that's the way forward there. It
reminded me of Total Recall, like the one in the 80s. I don't know if you remember that, but there's a scene where Arnie's wife is like having a tennis lesson, and she's literally like, "Oh, that's a good swing." And I was watching that, and when I was a kid, I was watching that like, man, that is some future stuff, man. But it's here.
Watching it. Hold on, let me get my comparisons correct now. Watching it gave me like the first 5 minutes of a Black Mirror episode. Now, the main reason I say that is because the first 5 minutes of a Black Mirror episode, it's usually all the positives around the tech that you're seeing. First 5 minutes of Black Mirror, you're always like, I would love that in my house. And then 50 minutes later, when the whole episode's finished, you're like, maybe not. But the one thing I took from the TVs, and they literally, hold on, I think they mentioned it with near enough every single product, is how Samsung are taking the eco route. So you mentioned it our last podcast, that the S21 is not coming with like a charger in the box or earphones in the box. The new micro LED TV, it's a batteryless remote. And that was like, oh, no batteries, you just plug your remote into charge. No, it's solar powered, but it charges with indoor lights. So you
ridiculous, isn't it?
Remote in the garden, just turn your lights on, especially like in the evening, and it charges. And it's something, you know what it is? Sometimes it's the little things.
Well, talking of the little things, though. Well, yeah, talking of the little things, big things, talk about that sustainability. In the CES video, they also talked about, I know this sounds weird, but like the packaging that the TVs are coming in.
The dotted.
So the 2021 this year, you can then reuse that box that your TV came in, do a bit of origami with it, and create furniture in your house. So for that like upcycle, massive shout there as well. I love that.
That is a playhouse for Mila or a chew toy for the dog.
I
fast asleep down there at the minute.
going on to just revisiting what Myles said about the batteryless remote with the indoor lighting. It's kind of like we've gone full loop now. So like the output of using energy is normally the light, right? But now we're using that light to charge for more input. So it's like a cycle that'll never break. So it's interesting to see what will go in the future. And then, Chris, what you said about the sustainability, big fans over here with sustainability and future, making sure there's a future of the world. But to get back into the cool stuff of the CES, was it smart things or was it Samsung Health? I forget. Do you know the refrigerators and the working out like your ingredients, taking you through the like what you could cook?
The cooking when it was showing you all the different things that you can cook with it.
And they give a shout out to the vegans sort of stuff. But hey, that would be super. Well, it won't be helpful for me. I live on my own, man. Unless you can cook something good with an onion, some ketchup, and a lush face mask that I keep in the fridge, you ain't going to get much to eat. But
you would be surprised, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, they seem to have an idea for all of it. And the production of the whole thing was good. Go on, Chris.
I was going to say, talking of the ovens, kind of leads into other kitchenware. Did you see all that bespoke fridge freezers they were doing now as well?
Yeah, the customizable fronts.
Customizable 4-door, mate. Now they look sick. And like, kind of, I suppose sustainability kind of tied through everything. Because not only can you customize them to fit your house, but then when you wanted to redecorate, historically you'd end up buying a new fridge freezer.
Yeah.
Whereas now you can just pop a different colored door on your existing freezer to match your house. So I thought that was a real nice touch there.
Now, my favorite thing was the stuff inside where it was compartmentalized. So I don't know if it's different temperatures. I need to do a bit of background reading on this, actually.
Yeah, no, they definitely said that. Different temperatures.
Different temperatures to like keep the stuff like fresh. So I remember like the lettuce was in like a crisp. It said like a crispness or something like that. Keeps stuff crisp. I need to do a bit more research into it, but unless you guys know anything.
It's building on what they did previously. So, right, I'm really bad. I work in mobile, so sorry that I forgot what the name of it is. But you know, the American fridges, like the big, massive ones. Samsung released one of that, releasing them every year, it feels like. But I think it was 3 years ago, and it was a 4-door one where you had the ability to actually change it from a fridge to a freezer or a freezer to a fridge. So like the example they used is traditional fridge freezer, you got the fridge on the top, freezer at the bottom. If, for example, it's coming up to, let's say you're coming up to Christmas, so you want to make sure that the fridge is packed full of fresh stuff, you could literally say, you know what, I don't need 2 freezers, change this compartment, so then this side will be a fridge, and then we'll have just this for a freezer, and now I've got even more space going around it. And then what they've done with this one is there are different compartments in there that you can actually set to cooling. And the good one, you know how some fridges have got the water dispenser in the front, so you just push your cup in there. They've actually got an automatic refilling jug, so the jug just slots into the fridge on this new one, automatically refills itself. You just take that jug out, again, go around and fill it up to everyone. If you are someone that likes your room temperature water, once it's been filled up through the filtration system, just leave it on the side, keep going back. And then when it's empty, just push it back in, shut your fridge and carry on.
Mate.
Am I old? Because now I'm just thinking, I need a new fridge, man.
Shaun, Shaun, it's not to do with age. It's down to one thing, and it's being a homeowner or not. There are things in life that when you become a homeowner, they just
become important.
Like, so just to skip forward a bit, there was the what did they call it? Was it Robo Plus? Was it Robo Plus? It was
the Jetbot. Are you on
Jetbot? No, the Jetbot Plus.
Right. Okay.
Jetbot. I was going to say Bot Plus, but the Jetbot Plus. I seen this and I was like, do you guys remember? I'm talking back in the day now. I'm going 20 years ago. When they had the Hoovers that could just go around by themselves, but you sometimes had to you had to like actually manually say go forward, and then and crash.
Programming a route.
Yeah, you had to program.
What is my purpose? Just forward and backwards. What is my purpose?
This one, when it
was spotter.
It was on about cleaning, and then it was on about how it's got AI to recognize objects, and then it was on about how it can recognize a vase, so it knows to stay away from a certain table.
Miles. Come on. Yeah, and I listen, man. I'm going to be totally honest. Love it. Love the idea. I'm going to give you 5 years on that one. I don't want no robots pouring red wine on my cream carpets. Did you see it when it was pouring the wine and setting the table?
No, that was a completely different robot.
Yeah.
I'm fast forwarding. Fast forwarding. My apologies.
Carry on, Shaun, because
yes, sorry.
I saw the Jetbot one because I was watching this while I was washing up, and then I looked up all of a sudden, and I was like, "Did that robot just pick up clothes and put it in the laundry basket?"
Yes. So to be clear, there is the robot like the Hoover, and when the pet spills like food, the pet spilled some food, and the man kind of went, "Oh no," on his phone. Oh no, someone's made some mess again. When in reality, you're like, what the bloody are you doing? But the robot just comes out of his thing, cleans it up nice, and then everything's happy days. But I'm fast forwarding to the other one, which is the
Handy.
naming convention. Is that the one it's called with the
arm?
With the arm.
Yeah. It's the one with the arm. Yeah, it was called Handy, wasn't it? Mate. It's just like an extension of you, though, isn't it? Like, what did it say? Setting your table, doing your washing up, all sorts.
It knows whether it's glass. It knows whether it's ceramic. It knows the material. Listen, I was like, I was watching it. I was like, what?
I've never been so fascinated in watching something or someone pack a dishwasher.
100%.
This thing was like it knows the orientation, it knows the material. Mm-hmm. I was like, you go speak to my mum now and ask her how I wasn't packing the dishwasher. I don't even know all of this stuff. I
was going to say, Myles, my mum and dad had one of those robots 20 years ago, but it was me. And there weren't no dishwasher involved. I'm talking old school, scrubbing at the dish. You know, when you also used to try and get away with it as well by saying, that needs to soak, man. That needs to soak. You know, they were the pots and pans. Yeah, my mum and dad had that robot for years.
That didn't work on me. That's when I got introduced into a little thing called elbow grease. For the first few years of my life, when I first heard elbow grease, my mum was like, you need to put some elbow grease into it. Here's my stupid little ass. I went into the kitchen, under the sink. I was like, where is this elbow grease? I was like, Mum,
we're out of elbow grease over here, man.
I was like, do I need to run around the corner shop and get some elbow grease? Because it's not in here.
Oh, man. Oh, dear. Mate, the robots were just incredible, though. Talking CES, like the AI and the robots. But then I think the thing that really stuck out for me, what was it called now? Was it called Gen?
Yes. Go on, Chris. Great show.
Mate, it just blew me away with like that robotics that they have, being able to help people walk who can't walk. Like that kind of innovation. Like that's proper science fiction film material, which Samsung have built. Do you know what I mean? Like that's true, like next level stuff.
And it's building next on level. Because I'm sure it's not new to any of us. A few years ago when we had the VR, when our Samsung Gear VR was the big thing, I always remember the one advert of the guy learning to walk, and he'd put the VR headset on, and it would be like on a beach or something, and he'd see the feet walking that would help him get forward on that. And then they literally just add on to that, and they were like, you know what? Let's just build a machine.
Myles, story time, man. You've just reminded me of something I thought I forgot. First of all, that's all very admirable. Do not confuse my laughter with with our progress there, right? But I just remembered there was a program that we had on the VR to help people overcome fear of heights. Oh. Brilliant thing. Started off real quick. You're on a busy like roadside or something. You can walk across that. Great. Then you'd be kind of like up a flight of stairs with a glass floor. Great. Elevate. Went great. I was doing I forget who it was with, but I know the person that it was with because he's a local lad. And I was at a manager's meeting and I showed them all the VR and I was like, oh, we've got this height simulator on there. And they're all coming over and they're all going, oh, this is good. What happened was the person who started it, who went on there first, was at the low levels. And then they built up slowly. They were passing it on. But what they were doing was going through the levels because in theory, all you had to do was stand up and walk.
Yeah.
It got to the person who will remain nameless at the moment. He put it on. Scared of heights, He's on a skyscraper.
Mm.
I promise you, he took it off. He had to go outside. 5 minutes later, I'll go and check up on him. He's like this. And he's pure. That's how real VR was then. So we move forward with it. However, the gems thing, for those who don't know, it seems to be, and I don't think any of us could say that we're the product experts in this at the moment, but very much the fans of it. It's a contraption that goes around the base of a spine and the upper legs, it seems. And then it assists with what it looks like people who are rehabilitating after maybe accidents or some form of paralysis. It looks like. So again, that's where tech, it's all fun and games with these bad boys that we've got. Hey, I love, talking PlayStation 5s, etc., and talking about the TVs, big TVs, Ceros, etc. But that is life-changing, game-changing. And, there's
also, because Chris mentioned it earlier about the upcycling. There was, I'm trying to remember the examples they used. There was a segment when they were on about, we don't just take old phones and pull them apart for parts now. We upcycle them. So I think there was a case in Korea where they didn't say what phone it was, but they took one of our older Galaxy phones, and then that's used as a portable eye testing machine for opticians. And then there was another one where the phone sensors can be used as like a baby monitor. So it's like as soon as your baby starts crying, it would literally send signals through to your phone, and then your phone would come up and let you know. And I was just,
we're in the future, man.
When I think of upcycling, it used to be like, like those life hacks, like, this is like a McDonald's cup holder. How can I use this in the future? Oh, turn it into a plant pot. When I hear upcycling, that's what I think of. But this is why I'm not in the innovation team.
And it's exciting stuff. Got a CES wicked show, guys. If you haven't caught it already, we'll put the link in this in the description below. So check out the great things that Samsung are doing. Chris, Myles, thanks for joining us. Namaste to you guys. Let us know your thoughts about fantastic tech, guys, and we'd love to know those thoughts and maybe even some ideas that you think could bring into the future. But until then, guys, we've had Myles, we've had Chris, I've been Shaun. Thanks for joining, guys, and we'll see you next time on the 3 Star Podcast.
Yay!